To introduce one of the few good subreddits out there, Support for the Accused. It's one of the few that isn't feminist and infiltrated, and men actually are able to share their stories. And we're going to look at the stories these guys share, okay? Now, they're reacting to some disgusting gaslighting post from some feminist scumbag. Woman, I was abused. Everyone, I need videos and photos and witnesses to believe that. Man, I didn't do it. Everyone, that must be true. This is an inversion of the truth, of course, right? Or I should say, inversion of reality. It's women who just have to tell a lie, and men have to provide everything to defend themselves with, right? Now, look at No Fail. My accuser got away with lying and making up abuse claims. Apparently, they will not pursue her for lying, as it may discourage others from coming to report abuse. No Fail. This is an excuse they make. They're not afraid of that. They simply want to get the man. Our justice system is a get the man system. So they're willing to ignore men's rights when women accuse us. And of course, when you look at these, it'll always be a man being attacked by a woman, right? I want to be an attorney. Of course, they sacrifice you for a hypothetical. I'm sorry you went through that. Attorney, it's not a hypothetical. They made this hypothetical up. They don't believe in it. And this guy is being sacrificed. He's being targeted. That's an excuse to ignore a man's rights, your rights, my rights, right? Now look at Fugging Candle. Yeah, my father's accuser, my stepsister. Notice, guys, this happens within the family unit. A lot. The women in your social circles and your intimate family circles, they're against you. They will turn on you at the drop of a hat. She literally just spouted bullshit stories that we all knew never happened, and she got away with lying on the stand. That's right, Fuggin. They don't punish women for their lies, because the whole purpose of the justice system, the legal system, is to get the man. And he got charged. Now we're going through appeal process. People on Twitter suck. I mean, it's so many words on there to avoid seeing BS like this. Yeah, social media platforms are replete with feminists and people who are hostile to men, right? So they get to attack you and stalk you and tell lies. And the average person who isn't officially against you, just their indifference to your suffering. So they don't care. So there's no pushback to it. Now, No Fail. It's frustrating. You begin to realize the system is stacked against you. You're right, No Fail. It is stacked against us. The sad part is we don't realize it till it happens to us personally. This has been going on for years and years to other men, and we just don't care until it's at our doorstep. And this is why it happens. Fighting the words of my accuser took a lot of money and even evidence, and it took months for them to clear me. Exactly. No Fail. The legal system brags up this idea that it's to have a just system, you have to have a speedy trial. And they make sure that the trial isn't speedy when women accuse men. Do you see that? Men's rights are stripped from them, or to be more accurate, they're not practiced by the legal system because it's a get the man system, right? And it costs you money and time. It's deter you from even trying. That's why a lot of guys just put their heads down and accept the accusation and try to get on with their lives. Poor men can't defend themselves if you don't have a lot of money, right? People do not understand what is happening, and we are, in a way, silently being punished. No, you're not in a way. You are being punished, right? And the reason people don't understand is they don't want to understand. You didn't understand until it happened to you, right? Right. People don't want to know men's suffering. It's been a few days now, and after hearing I have been cleared, and I still feel frustrated it doesn't end. Of course you feel, because you were abused by the so-called justice system. This should never happen. Stay strong. These feelings will arise. Sadly, we have to endure. I really hope things change in the future. Things are not going to change, no fail, unless we change them. Men have to collectively work together, as much as we don't like each other, on a legal and political level to get things changed. Otherwise, they're not going to change. I mean, look, why do you have to endure it? You only have to endure this kind of injustice if you're willing to recognize your society's not just towards you in the first place. Now, house temporary. I'm going through this same thing with a female, bad judge. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not a bad judge. This is the way the system's geared, house temporary. You'll notice that the system's full of bad judges when it comes to getting men at a woman's word, right? Again, it's a man dealing with a female. Where are all the women in this in these threads saying how a man got her? Doesn't exist, does it? Now, Code V is responding to the bullshit tweet. Who is this everyone she's talking about? Well, it's a lie, Code V. It's gaslighting. Once you understand that, you don't have to ask these questions. You don't have to ask these rhetorical questions. Now, this is an important one from former bishop. My brother lost all his friends and his career when his ex-wife accused him of molesting their teenage daughter. She's 15, right? So she could tell the truth on her own, right? And notice all his friends go. Former bishop, people don't like men. I know men don't want to deal with the simple truth, but once a woman accuses a man, all his so-called friends turn on him. He gets ostracized from his social circles. It's a form of punishment that goes beyond the legal system. Everybody is in on this. Men don't really have friends. They have male acquaintances that'll turn on them at a moment's notice. My brother had 100% custody, and she was tired of paying child support. She just started paying. Yeah, she didn't have to suffer like this. Women don't pay child support, Bishop. They rarely ever do, and when they do, they find ways out of it. All she had to do was make up a lie. That's all it takes. Now, CPS rushes over and removes his daughter. Notice, Bishop, the so-called legal system reacts immediately for a woman against a man. It's not slow justice. Actually, the C should be taken out of here because this is not about children. CPS is a support group for female criminals. That's what it actually is. It isn't about children whatsoever. The child doesn't mean anything to them. CPS is feminist run, and its purpose is to support criminal activity from women against men. That's its purpose, Bishop. Since he worked with at-risk people at his job, he was notified of the accusations and was fired. So he was notified without any trial, right? So notice his name gets smeared everywhere. Exactly. And then he gets ostracized. At risk, he's probably working either with young people or the elderly, right? And they immediately fired him, right? So the employment sector is in on this, former bishop. It's not just the legal system. It's the employment, the employment sector. It's social media. And it's the very people within your own family that are against you. Like I said, the daughter's school got some kind of notice. You see, brother had an ex-girlfriend working there, so it quickly became common knowledge and everyone dropped him. See, this has nothing to do with the legal system again, right? This is society. And notice these women, former bishop, work together. They network with one another to destroy men. And men, since they don't network with one another to defend themselves, this is what happens. Now, his daughter, who was 15, not 9 or 6, denied everything and there was a concern that she was afraid to tell the truth. This is a bold-faced lie said by the legal system to ignore it. Notice, believe all women, former bishop, means get the man. It doesn't actually mean believe all women. It means get the man. Because they don't believe a woman when it defends the man, right? So you have to understand what these phrases actually mean. Believe all women means get the man. This is a young woman. She should be believed, right? The moment he had the official paperwork that his daughter was once again 100% in his custody, he moved several states away and started to rebuild his life. Funny, he still can't buy firearms. It's not funny. None of this is strange. Society wants to destroy men. Society doesn't like men, Bishop. So as soon as these false allegations are made, it punishes the man. He had to move away. There was notice, Bishop, there was no justice brought back to him. He wasn't rehired. His friends didn't come back, right? The damage was done. He was punished. It's that simple. I missed this part. There was a reason he had full custody. That's right. So the CPS knew that he should have had custody of that child. They knew the mother was an abusive person. So they immediately rushed at her word, which they should have known better. Well, they did know better because they were not about the child. They were a support group. They are a support group for this female criminal. About 18 months later, CBS brought his daughter back. See, it was a year and a half of punishment for this guy with something of an apology, right? So it wasn't an apology, right? They punished him. Now, silly gay boy. And let me guess, she was never punished aside from losing her daughter. I'm sorry. Gay boy, that last phrase, I'm sorry. That's where men fall down. You should be saying, I'm enraged, not I'm sorry. You know, if men really believed that they were full-class citizens, they'd be saying, I'm enraged that this is happening. I'm a citizen of this country. But I'm sorry is admitting that we aren't. Right? Now, short attention. Seeing as though the majority automatically, he's talking about the original post. Seeing as though the majority automatically believed the woman, she must have been busted trying to lie. Now people immediately doubt her. No, a short attention. Women aren't punished for their criminal activity. I'll do a video proving that that's the case, right? Later on. And the guy said, Uncle Touchy, they don't do well with accountability. Uncle Touchy, that's a pathetic thing for you to say. Women don't avoid accountability. They aren't held to account in the first place. All these guys talking up here saying how they were screwed over by the system and the women get away with lying. They're not held to account. Right? So I'm sorry, this is posturing, Uncle Touchy. Men have to stop this. Now look at this. Wow, they really live in a fantasy land. They got it completely backwards, talking about the original post. They don't live in a fantasy land, Uncle Touchy. They're lying. They live in reality. They know they can get away with lying, so they lie. So it's men who are in fantasy land. The idea that men are believed more than women is so delusional, it's hard to know where to start with this fucktard. Cosplay riot. Dude, you are delusional. Because this woman is merely lying. So there's no point in believing that they don't know what they're talking about when they're simply lying. Men are the ones who are delusional because they don't want to deal with the fact that women just don't like men and are just lying, right? Anyway, so this is a good place for you guys to check out. And you can actually post something in here that's, truthful about male suffering, and they'll support you. And I'm just saying, no fail. If you want things to change, we have to change it. We have to actually work again politically and legally to get the system changed. Otherwise, it's not going to. Okay, thanks.